All right, everybody. Hope you can hear me this time. No audio problems? Great. Get your pencils, grab your paints, get your waters, collect anything you consider art supplies. It's time for Art Smackdown, the game show that makes art the cutthroat competition God intended. This week's contestants are Best Artist in the World, the Lazy Swan. Last week's audience champion, Kara Sketches. And this week's contender, Schwartz and Merck. With celebrity guest judge, Devin Delliquanti. And with me, Mark Stetson, and my co-host, Jane Baker. Welcome, everybody. How you doing? How you doing, Jane? How you doing, Devin?
I'm great. I'm great. I'm ready for some art.
Did you say you're hungry?
For art.
Oh man, I'm so hungry for art.
Yeah.
Oh, we got Holdenators rating us right now. Welcome, Holdenators.
Oh, very exciting.
Holdenators.
I love the Holdenators.
Ho. Welcome everybody. Jane, it's been a while since you've been on the show.
It has.
What's life like up in Vermont?
It's very hot here, but it's cold in my garage where I am right now. So I have a sweatshirt on. So.
Is that where you record? You record in your garage?
I do. Well, it's a garage. That's what it is. We call it a chalet because we're in Vermont, but it's a garage, so, yeah.
What? Now, I'm just because I'm just an ignorant American. What is the technical definition of a chalet?
I believe it needs to be in the snow, and you need to be able to ski out your front door. To work and back.
So it's just a ski out, not a ski in, ski out. As long as you can ski out, it's a chalet?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I don't know, and I'm making it up. However, I think that's what it should be. It should definitely be you can ski out, go to work, take a loop around, ski back in the back door.
Sure. Chalet sounds like the sound you would make as you ski out of your house.
Chalet!
Yeah, like that.
I agree.
It's like an onomatopoeia.
Yeah, it's like that. It's like that thing that sounds like what it is.
It is.
Yeah.
And welcome, Devin Delliquanti, for those newish to the show or who have not seen Devin on the show before. Devin is a now Emmy-nominated writer for The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and one of my best friends in the entire planet.
It's true.
Welcome, Devin.
Yes, thank you for having me. I was here a few months back, and my Wi-Fi was so bad that every time I started saying anything, you would get the first word, and then it would cut out, and that would be it. So I would tell a story, and then finish it, and just hear silence, and Micah just went, nope.
Yeah.
Every single time, and I felt terrible. And then I got my cable fixed since then. And the guy basically said, oh, yeah, your cable's like chewed up in the wall. There's something wrong with the cable, so we'll run it from a different outlet. So hopefully, loud and clear this time, all anecdotes will come through, and any non-laughter will be because of the anecdotes and not because of the internet.
Yeah,
so that will be ideal.
6 of 1.
That was the best part of it, was that, like, you signed on your, like, I'm plugged in, Ethernet cable, like, I am locked in.
I hard-lined.
Yeah.
I was hard-lined in. I was so confident. It was terrible.
And what I didn't tell you is that, like, as you were saying that, you totally, like, distorted a little bit, so you're like, I'm getting it. And you were like, yeah, this, like, look of, like, pride, and I was like, all right, hopefully that doesn't happen again.
Set to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you didn't even hear that I was hard-lined in.
I didn't.
I mean, how could you? Ugh, what a shame.
What a shame.
Great.
Everything is Wi-Fi now, so I'm swinging hard in the other direction. We'll see what happens. I'm trusting the wise and the fies.
And so you write for the Daily Show. Is the show? I forget. Is the show already on break, or is it?
We are on a break now. Yes, the show that makes it sound like a relationship, and we're seeing.
We're on a break.
That is not the case. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I like that was Seinfeld as Ross.
As
in
Ross,
Friends.
exactly. You fucking nailed
As
it.
a real
Yes.
90s sitcom cross-pollination. But I appreciated it.
Yeah, I watched.
Smelly cut! Smelly cut!
I watched CNN's making of the sitcom, or like history of the sitcom, twice on a plane last night. So there was so much Seinfeld and Friends, and it all just got mushed up in my brain.
That makes sense. So yes, the Daily Show. I totally forgot your question. The Daily Show is on a break. We are putting stuff out on Twitter and Instagram, but we're going to be going back to the studio in some capacity in September. So we're kind of figuring out what that will look like, because everything is sort of different after the pandemic, and I think we're trying to figure out what the new version of the show will look like. Coming up with some fun things. It's going to be exciting when we do come back. So we're figuring that out, putting stuff out on Twitter and Instagram and all that kind of stuff. And yeah, it's exciting, but we're really looking forward to having people around and laughter in the rooms where we tell the jokes. That'll be nice. So yeah, that's what the summer holds for us. But it's been a crazy year and a half doing shows from home, both our homes and Trevor's home. So yeah, it's nice to see a light at the end of the tunnel of that whole craziness.
Yeah. It's been crazy seeing late night evolve and change since like the pandemic, just because like obviously like everything else it had to like adjust and change. But yeah, more questions on that later. Why don't we jump into the self-expression challenge? The 1 minute actually, before we get into that, let me explain to everybody what the show is.
Please do.
Please, thank you. Welcome everybody to Art Smackdown. It's a game show like Nailed It, but with art. So here's how we play. Three contestants, 3 artists enter the stream. We give them a challenge to complete in 20 minutes. That's the Masterpiece Challenge. Halfway through, we make them compromise their vision. We throw a wrench in what they thought they were making. And then we figure out at the end who the best artist in the world is. And that's Devin's job this evening, to decide, well, first to create the challenge, and then to decide which piece of art is the best. But first, before we get into the masterpiece, we have a 1 minute self-expression challenge where our artists get to sort of show everyone what they're all about and kind of get warmed up. So, hope you artists are ready for the self-expression challenge. And it is make your self-titled album cover. Go. So Devin, what explain this a little bit, give a little context for making your self-titled album cover.
Well, I feel like it will be a great way to get to know the artist right out of the gate. Also, a little nod to Record Store Day. It was Record Store Day this past weekend. Don't know if any of you went and supported local record shops, which is cool. So yeah, and Mark and I grew up. One of the first things that really solidified our friendship was on it must have been 14th birthday. Mark showed up at my door with a Rick James Greatest Hits CD. And yeah,
He's a very kinky boy.
he is. But ironically, he brought it to my mother because my mom answered the door and she was like, "Oh, Mark bought you a Rick James Greatest Hits CD."
Art supplies down, by the way. Really quick, we'll back to that in a second. Please, everyone, send your pieces of art to fartsmackdown@gmail.com, and we will show your piece of art on the stream.
Why is it Farts Meltdown?
Oh, it's for, you know what? It's a good question. It is called It is fartsmackdown@gmail.com.
Right.
Because Art Smackdown was already taken.
Chalet.
Chalet.
Chalet. How about that?
But
I'm
yes.
noticing that part of my eyebrow's missing, and I don't know what happened.
What?
I mean, look.
Wait, hold on. Look at that. Yeah, half of your eyebrow is completely gone, and you had no idea that it happened.
None till.
Were you cooking something today?
No, I think I've been robbed. I don't know what to do.
Has it happened before? Have you had your eyebrows done before?
I hear that the young lesbians the young ones. That's, 100 years younger than me. Put like a slit in their eyebrow. It's like kind of what we old school lesbians would say, like, do you like Melissa Etheridge? Do you know the Indigo Girls? But now you put a slit in your eyebrow. But it looks like maybe I tried to do that with a weed whacker. Maybe. It's a lot.
Yeah, I'd say more of your eyebrow is gone than is there at this point.
I'm troubled.
I do think it was a thief. That's my favorite theory. I feel like
Yeah.
it was like an Agatha Christie situation where the lights went out in the chalet and came up and half of your eyebrow was
Yes.
gone.
Yeah.
And all the
Yeah.
suspects were standing around and you had to figure out who it was. Then some French inspector comes in to interrogate
Nobody
everybody.
here, so I'm
yeah.
screwed.
Yeah.
I burned off most of this eyebrow once in college because I was trying to light a cigarette off of a stovetop, and I got in way too close. This eyelash and
Oh,
eyebrows
that's
just went
too.
up in smoke.
Wow.
Yeah. I smelled burning for 3 days.
When I met one of my college roommates for the first time, she turned around, she was like, "Hi." And I'm like, "Hi." And I turned around after meeting her, I went into my other roommate's, Monica's. I was like, "I don't think she's got any eyebrows." And she said, "Oh no, she burned them off." And I was like, "What?" It was a cooking incident. But, you should tell people that before you let them go meet the person. Just nothing.
Yeah. Like, is that something that now when you go out you're gonna like prepare people for in advance?
I guess I'm going to have to write a letter
I think so.
just to everyone.
Just,
In the event you see me.
but like,
You know what? Maybe it's just gray. Oh, some of it's gray.
Is that
Sorry,
really
I'm
it?
Sorry to
be it.
say, some of it's gray.
It's actually not burnt. It's actually not gone. It's just changed color overnight.
Hey, a fright can change your whole head of hair.
I
So-
learned that in the Royal Tenenbaums.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of little frights, which happen all the time, could change eyebrows, for sure.
Absolutely. Have you had little frights recently?
Oh, sweet Jesus. Yeah. My son totaled my car.
What?
He's fine.
Whoa.
He's fine. It was a beautiful Volkswagen VW Beetle,
Oh.
black.
Like old
I
school?
called
or
her
new
Black
school?
Betty until I heard that could be offensive, so I stopped. But I just called her Betty. It was implied. Now,
Like how Lady Antebellum became Lady A.
yeah, like I wasn't
Total
sure
rebrand.
what the context of that song was, but
Sure,
I'd heard
yeah.
it when I was a kid. So, yeah, so now we got a truck, and it's white, so his name is Walter. Not everybody gets it. Not everybody loves it, because not everybody understands a teacher who goes bad. But it happens. I say, I'm going to take
Is that the
Wall
one
out.
that broke down? Is it now broken bad?
The Volkswagen broke bad,
God damn.
but it translated into a truck, which
Oh,
I'm
man.
trying to void the sale of.
Really?
Yeah, this is why it's happening
Oh my
here.
god.
That is a
The,
lot of
the
stress.
second time I took it out for a drive, I took my son to Walmart to try to look for a bike, and we couldn't find one. We come out, car won't start. This is the second time I've driven the truck, and it's got a keyless thing, so it's got a key fob. Nothing, pushing nothing. So I call them. It's like a day and a half of like, they've got my truck. They can't replicate what happened, so they don't know what happened, but they want to give it back. And I'm like, well, here's the thing about me. I like to think my truck will start. I know I'm weird. And the guy, he was dealing with me fine. And then finally, I guess I asked for too much, because I was like, I don't feel safe. And he said, and I quote, "We've been over backwards for you people."
You people?
Yes. And I went, You know what that felt like? It's weird.
Ah.
It felt like that's a weird thing to say to me.
That's-
I said, but you couldn't have meant it because you were so nice when you were selling me the car. So anyway, I'm trying to get the whole thing voided because I don't want to have to go to them for service because I'm them people.
Oh,
So annoying. Yeah, it was really something.
well,
So everyone I've earned.
yeah.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
Well,
it sounds like it could cause eyebrow pisha.
Yeah.
Ibrapisha. Well, let's see what some of our contestants have done with their self-titled album covers.
I'm excited.
Let's start off with last week's and the week before's best artist in the world, Lazy Swan.
Woohoo!
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Wait, oh, you're not Lazy Swan. I clicked the wrong
That's
one.
Kara. She's not
That's
lazy.
Kara. She is not lazy at all.
Find somebody that's lazy.
Wait, where'd it go?
I'm lazy.
Did it get deleted? No, there it is. What is it? Okay, you know what?
I see a cork board.
We're gonna start with Kara. Sorry, everybody. Kara Sketches, last week's audience champion. How are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
Wonderful. How has your week been? What's been going on? What have you been? What have you been up to?
Just started, but I get to go back into the office officially, or for the first time ever, tomorrow. So I'm excited about that.
First time ever?
First time ever, yeah. Because I started remotely in Michigan, and now I'm in Portland, Oregon.
New job.
So, new job, but in person now.
What if they don't like you in person?
They can fire me whenever they want. They can give me 0 minutes notice. That's how it works. The contract I signed.
Oh, that's
So
no
I guess
good.
it's just it is what it is. If they don't like me,
Try to act remote.
That is
when you're there.
impossible. I refuse to believe that that's you. That's...
No, who couldn't like you, Kara?
aw, thank you.
Had enough of this.
Can you go outside in Portland now, or is it still 170 degrees Celsius out there?
No, it's reasonable out. It's
Okay, good.
It's not in.
Are there riots in all parts of Portland, or just the ones on
I'm
the
kind of
Twitter?
sick of hearing that.
Yeah.
Is
It's
everything there
fine.
coffee? What other Portland stereotypes can we hit you with before?
Have you seen Fred Armisen there?
Nope.
No?
Huh.
I would have thought so.
Yeah. All right. Well, all right then. Want to walk us through your album cover?
Yeah, I know it doesn't make any sense, but I worked like 9 hours today, so my head is just in architecture right now. So the only thing I'm qualified to produce as an album is Revit tutorials. So I was like, it's gonna be a homemade CD, plug it in
Just
or put it in your
word.
yeah, spoken word. I don't know.
Word.
That's just the first thing that came to mind. Yeah, it's the only thing I'm qualified to produce. So.
What is Revit?
Oh, sorry. It's a program that architects use to model buildings and produce drawings.
Got it.
So it's, yeah,
In 2
building
weeks,
information.
you can learn it.
Oh yeah, you can learn it in 2 weeks.
That's
Good luck
awesome.
remembering everything though.
I do like the mixtape quality of it.
I do
Like
too.
it feels like you took a legitimate tutorial video and then just burned it for somebody and handed it to them, and I like that a lot. It speaks to me.
Kind of like bootleg Revit.
Mhm.
Yep.
I like it too.
So Kara, this is it's your first week back in your first show back in a few weeks. You've had some time since your last time on the show. Any new sort of strategies that you've picked up along the way?
No, I think my strategy is always just to have fun. But last week, the thing that I think got me the win is really listening to the conversation and like pulling random facts or random things that we talked about.
Yeah.
That usually it works well.
Phil Casale and I have been talking a lot about the concept of making a film tilapia. Actually bringing it into fruition.
Wow.
So you typed in some real Some real deep stuff.
It really sounded like a good name for like an art film, because what he was describing sounded like an art film, and I'm really into those.
It was awesome.
It's gonna make no sense.
I boned up on a lot of art terms because I haven't felt as educated as I should be as a co-host. So I'm going to say fumato is what you should be focused on tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, the whole thing of that. Sfumato.
All right, I'll look that up.
Yeah, it's SFUMATO is how I spell it.
Yeah.
Wow.
I spell it with a D.
You do? Okay,
do.
so there's a difference there. That's probably you're from Denmark, right?
It's exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah.
That does sound like a chain of very bad pizza joints. Like Sfumato.
Yeah.
That's like
No
a
tomato, just some
worse
sfumato.
than Sbarro is
Oh, man.
Sfumatos.
Real Newark style pizza.
Yeah.
Newark.
Yeah. Well, Kara, look forward to seeing what you're going to create this evening, and we'll see you in a little bit.
All right, see ya.
See ya. And now we bring on last week's best artist in the world, Lazy Swan. Welcome back.
Hello, how are you?
Wonderful. How are you? How's life in Australia?
Yeah, I think there's actually a storm happening outside, so if it gets really noisy, just ignore it.
Oh, okay. Like what kind of a storm? Just like
A Sharknado, of course,
Sharknado,
because it's
no,
Australia.
no.
That's
Yeah,
the only
well,
kind.
we live near the beach and we get great whites, so it could be Sharknado.
Oh, jeez.
Nice.
Has it ever
Prophecy has
happened
come
that
true.
kangaroos have pelted the windows?
No, but they do. I was saying last week, they do jump out and get hit by cars. And
Oh,
if it's a-
come on.
It's true, and if it's a really big one, it'll total your car. So there's big ones.
You can't drive in New England for more than 2 miles on the highway without seeing several dead deer. It's not pretty.
Yeah, it isn't nice. I'm one to get out and drag them off the road. I took a possum off the road the other day.
Oh.
'Cause it was just too sad. It was getting squished.
Well, I have to agree with Ryan Osmosis. Your glasses are on point.
Oh, thank you.
And
yeah, I
pointy.
like these ones.
On pointy.
On point.
Yeah.
You,
I only really wear glasses on the computer.
you don't?
Yeah, just on the computer I wear them.
Oh.
Otherwise, yeah.
The blue
Yeah, no.
light thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Those
and it
work.
just they get tired. Yeah. I'm not young, so
My son sat on my glasses.
Your son your son totaled your car and sat on your glasses.
Totaled
said
your
it-
glasses.
Totaled
He
your
totaled my glasses before he totaled the car.
you got one more to go.
wow. Cracked Betty.
So you couldn't see it
Everything
coming.
happens in threes.
It
Yeah,
does.
there's another thing I'll tell you when we're not on the air.
Jesus.
It's so mysterious.
Marika, why don't you give us a little rundown on your album?
Okay. Well, oh yeah, because you can see it. So the reason why I'm called Lazy Swan, I call myself that. The lazy is, people think I'm lazy, but I'm just really depressed. I don't come across as it, but super depressed person. And I don't actually really have any confidence in what I do. So I was like, no confidence. And then I was like, confidential. It was like had a really 80s feel to it, which is when I was buying albums. So I just kind of thought in my head just from here, like, because I don't really want anyone to see me. So
I
it's a bit sad.
I hate everything you just said because you are wicked cool. You've got a great look. And you're like style personified. You're in Australia. You could probably meet some of the stars of Wentworth if you tried.
Yeah. True.
And you should have all the confidence
Yeah.
and not
But,
even be
you know,
confidential about it.
Well, this
love
is
it.
the thing.
I like the curves. I like the shape of this art, and
The
I
album's
like
coming out.
it is coming out.
That's the album, like, now you can get a
gonna
lot
drop.
of colored ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I like it has a kind of Tribe Called Quest quality to it. Like their artwork, the kind of neon,
Like Midnight Marauders.
neon vibes. Yeah, or what's the they also Q-Tip and Busta Rhymes did an album called The Abstract and the Dragon, and it reminds me a little bit of that artwork too. But I feel like Tribe Called Quest also has that same no confidence vibe. Even like Can I Kick It is sort of, it's like asking for permission
They
to
need
kick
permission. Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
It's sort of an imposter syndrome thing, like an existential.
Totally.
Can I kick it? Like asking yourself the question. So
Yeah.
it draws
Like-
parallels to that, and I appreciate that.
I think my therapist, it took about 6 weeks for her to say, I worked it out, you wear a mask when you come in here. Because I like people, so it just comes on. But then, then I'll spend 3 days just lying around doing fuck all. So yeah. And I've had people think I'm lazy when I used to work in an office. And I was just like, okay, that's fine.
Like, nope, it's something else entirely.
Yeah.
Thanks for your interest.
Yeah. Well,
Exactly.
as far as we're concerned, you are the undisputed best artist in the world, at least currently. So
Take that, coworkers.
Take that.
Yeah.
That.
Jerks.
And so now, having won the title 2 weeks in a row, what have you learned since you started? Anything new you're bringing to the table this week?
Yeah, I just need to talk less.
Or more.
Or more? Yeah, I would. Again,
No, I talk
I would disagree.
too long. Ugh. I eat up too much time.
Oh, absolutely.
But no, just my new thing is to work towards the 10-minute and allow their sort of not just space around the art, but an area where I can change something instead of just being really set on the actual thing, the one task. Leave space for
the
a
compromise.
change. Yeah, that's right, the compromise.
That's it. Yeah, because a lot of people who like I've asked, who either me or Mike have asked that question to, like very few people are like work with the compromise in mind, like make sure to keep space for it.
Yeah,
It's a
you
great
have
strategy.
to.
Well, you're not the best artist in the world
Just
for nothing.
please don't-
That's for sure.
Right.
Just please no Beyonce this week. 'Cause
Oh no, that's off the wheel. I think that one came up two wheel
weeks
spins
in
in a
a-
row. So
Yeah. Like,
What was the compromise?
bring in
Erase
Beyonce.
Bring in Beyonce.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
that has now been retired off the wheel, and don't worry, Beyonce will not make her way in unless people decide to put her in there on their own accord.
You never know.
yeah, that's true.
Lazy Swan, so happy to have you back, and we'll
you.
see what you create this evening. See you in a bit.
See you soon.
Now, bringing on the upstart contender this week.
What an upstart.
What an upstart. This man is a pharmaceutical genius extraordinaire. Maybe. This man is Schwartz and Merck. Welcome back, sir. How are you?
No.
Oh. We can't hear you.
He's going to fix it. He's going to take 1
Oh.
minute.
There you are.
There
now,
it is.
now I'm a genius.
There you are. At least a tech genius in the moment. How are you, sir?
Doing good. Just had a bit of a hectic day at work, and you're gonna hear a similar probably story to Kara's. My album is about, but yeah, I've just been I just got a new place, and I got these nice bookshelves actually filled up with books here, and apparently I don't own enough books, so all of this is just media. Got a penguin up here.
Hell
a Mega
yeah.
Man.
What's the second one?
It looks great.
Is it
The second-
Mega Man?
The second one's Mega Man.
Okay.
We got Hamtaro. We got some Cyanide and Happiness. We got a Boba Fett shrine, and some stuff right here. A Night of the Living Dead / George Romero shrine.
It looks like Handmaid's
yeah.
Tale on the bottom
Oh,
shelf.
I just this actually I probably shouldn't say this because it might skew the competition. It won't. But Devin, I gave you a Boba Fett art print.
Oh,
You did?
For Christmas. This man over here made it.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
no way!
Well, I'm
That's
glad
so
to have
cool.
met you.
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah.
I did not expect to meet the man behind the mask, the painting of the mask. Well, thank you, but thank you and Mark. That's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. If you need more Boba Fettings, I got the. I can help you out with that. And to be fair, I want to give credit to Silent Squee, who helped me put these shelves together, which allowed me to talk about Boba Fett.
Oh, hell yeah.
Painting.
Nice.
So she did an awesome job.
Silent Squee,
That's so cool.
OG Art Smackdown member. There's a better word that did not come to mind, but member is what came out of my mouth. So, Casey, walk us through your album cover.
Well, so like I was mentioning before, my the parallels to Kara's day was having a 9.5-hour day at work, and being the vaccinator for where I'm at. So basically, it's just a bunch of vaccination crap. I put a bunch of needles on there, and it does sound kind of weird saying that out loud, but obviously the title of the album is 3G, and my band is Stacks and Vax. The first and probably best single on the album is Why Pfizer, obviously in reference to the 3G that I will be injecting into people, along with magnets, which is the more common question that's asked than should happen.
Really? People think that you're injecting magnets into them?
Yeah, some people. Yeah, chips. I tell them it's Doritos, but
Cool Ranch?
Taco. The taco flavor. That's the best way to go. Those ones were made in the 80s and have the best bag design.
Fair enough.
So yeah, it was just a long day of me poking people all day long and them giving me really weird compliments about how good I touched them.
Really?
So that is a wow.
Yeah, no, like I had some people from other countries who were just like, they didn't know what the words to give me, and they were like, soft touch. I was like, okay.
Jot those down and reread them when you're much older. You'll appreciate it.
Oh no, I do appreciate the fact that I have apparently some sort of magical hands.
Soft.
Any incentive you can give people to be vaccinated, you do what you got to do. All right.
Give them a candy bar.
Yeah.
All the Yelp reviews for your
for my hands.
Yeah. Soft touch.
Hands.
Soft hands.
He leapt out of a tree on a bungee cord, but actually the surprise injection was really nice.
Frankenbabe writes in the chat, I've met a woman who was certain that we were being injected with microchips that beamed our information up to Elon Musk's satellites because of deals with Fauci and China.
Yeah, that's the big three right there.
Yeah.
Elon Musk, Fauci, and China.
Yeah.
All working together.
That sounds like a Mad Lib, doesn't it?
That's exactly
right.
Feels like it's put together.
Well,
yeah.
That's in my training when they told me about how to inject the microchips secretly.
Softly.
Very softly.
Fauci has got to be the most surprise archvillain in the history of the world. If he's pulling something crazy off in any way, kudos, sir, because you just seem like a nice fella to me.
Right? He's just like just a nice Italian grandpa.
Nice grandpa.
Yeah.
He's a little too
Happy Fauci.
folksy to feel like a mastermind to me. You know what I mean?
I
He's
know.
Like, well, I don't know what he's just, I don't know. I can't picture him scheming that way, but I guess some people are very
stupid.
If anything, he's complaining at the restaurant for his pork being overcooked.
Yes, that's like 100% right.
Yeah.
I can't see him ever saying anything wrong to make anybody feel bad.
I wasn't gonna say nothing, but this is.
Yeah. What am I gonna do? Send it
My
back?
wife's insisting I tell you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have said anything.
She won't sleep tonight.
Well, Casey,
a little dry.
As usual, I'm stoked to see what you put together this evening. And
Yeah.
we will see you. We'll see you back in a bit.
Sounds good. Thank you.
See you later. And now it's time for the masterpiece challenge. Now Devin came up with this one, as the judge usually does. This is. I hope everyone is ready. All y'all at home, please, follow along, art along with us, and at the end, you send it to fartsmackdown@gmail.com, and you can earn yourself a spot on next week's stream. So, the Masterpiece Challenge for this week, the 20-minute Masterpiece Challenge is design your childhood room if you, as an adult, got to design it. You have 20 minutes.
We call that layered.
That is quite layered. Devin, you have a bit of a deeper explanation for it, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, I don't know if the viewers at home can see, but behind me we have an Elmo chair. It's a little bit in the dark, but that was it was a gift from it's right there if you could see it. It's got a bit of a Pee-wee's Playhouse vibe. Yeah, there it is. It's got a bit of a Pee-wee's Playhouse vibe maybe, and it's one of those things that my son loves. He'll watch TV in it. Sometimes Sesame Street, but that's a little on the nose. He'll watch some of his other favorite shows, and when it was given to us, it's very bright and loud visually. But what we have come to learn is it's not for us; it's for our son. He is an equal part of the household, and he's almost 3. So yeah, and he loves it, and so he sits in it all the time. And I was just sort of thinking about the childhood things and what my childhood rooms were like, and it would be fun to see if you, in my mind in the challenge, if you could make a wish on that machine from Big, where it turns you either from a child into an adult or back. What would you do if you could envision your room? You had 24 hours. You're like, I'm going to make a room for myself as a kid. It's going to be great. I have 24 hours to do it as an adult. It's going to be a lot harder to do it as a kid. Smaller hands to assemble things. More difficult to get a credit card to use at Lowe's or Home Depot or Crate and Barrel, wherever you're shopping for yourself as a kid. Crate and Barrel at CB2, the Container Store. Crate and Barrel Kids. I don't know if that's a real thing.
If it's not, it better be.
Lowe's Junior. Any of those places. So it's weird to be a kid and just buy lumber. Not a lot of kids buying lumber. Prices of lumber are so high right now. It's hard with your allowance money. Doesn't buy as much lumber as it used to, I guess.
Yeah, I was talking to a dude I was at the airport yesterday for 6 hours waiting for my flight. Actually, I met a
Could
lot
have
of.
driven in that time.
I absolutely could. From North Carolina, I absolutely could have. There was a dude who's a general contractor for like the Amazon building in Detroit, the Amazon rainforest. But yeah, he was telling me that like peak pandemic, when they were still like working on the building, that like lumber costs as much as steel, which is like unheard of. Like that's how expensive like it is to buy lumber right now.
Wow,
just mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yep. And what is causing it? Do we know why?
He told me, but
everybody
I was
wants
hammered. I think it was just a matter of like that there isn't the people the people who are on furlough or on like unemployment, like they're not going back to work because they're still getting a paycheck. So it's just like the labor isn't there.
I feel like at some point lumber will be more expensive than steel because you can manufacture steel, right? It seems like we're going to run out of trees at some point, right?
But what's steel made out of?
I don't think anyone knows.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think we could run out of
mystery. I have no idea.
Could we? Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. I mean,
although we could always melt down Terminators who are traveling back in time from the future, and that's an infinite supply of steel, right? Because that's coming from the future.
So it's sustainable.
Yeah. Yes. It's a renewable resource.
There you go.
That's why Arnold Schwarzenegger was always so into helping with climate change, because he knew that he himself would be a renewable resource.
And
being
an
made of
energy
steel.
source. He's all pumped up.
He's all pumped up.
Yeah.
Jane,
Exactly.
what elements of your childhood bedroom would you include in like that you as an adult now would put back into your childhood bedroom if you were to go back in time?
The closet was large, and I could sit in there, and I would sit in there and write in my diary and stuff. So it was my own little fort in my room.
Oh, nice.
But the neatest part was that it was an old house, and there were odd little windows. So there was a window in the closet going outside that was stained glass, and it was really beautiful. And when the sun hit it, all these neat colors would come into the closet. So I'd keep that.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And Devin, I saw, I mean, I spent many days and nights in your childhood bedroom.
true.
Posing as you as a child. Your parents never but
They knew they just liked you better.
that's guaranteed that's not true. Although your mom and I did talk extensively about funk. I do think that Rick James album is what won your mother's heart over. I think
It did. It made us friends and
Forged
made you
a
and her
bond.
friends.
yes.
Yeah.
But you had an extensive computer game.
Oh, I
collection.
did. That's right. Yes, I did.
Monkey Island. I remember
That was the greatest game. Oh my god, I love that game so much. I don't know if any of the artists or any of the people watching the Twitch are familiar with that game, but it was so funny. I played it as a very little kid when I was growing up, and it was a point-and-click adventure game about a very bumbling pirate who was well-intentioned but kind of goofy. And I'm gonna check the chat to see if people know about it. Oh, people are talking about lumber in the chat.
Speaking of the chat, thank you, Blue Andrew, for the raid. Very much appreciated.
Raid.
Remember those cockroaches?
Yeah.
Those were great ads. Those were fun, right?
Not raid.
Yeah, they knew the brand that was trying
Oh
to
yeah,
kill them.
they're like, I hope they don't bring raid in here.
I know. They
We're
were very
done.
aware. Yeah. But so yes, Monkey Island. There was this. It was great. It was a point-and-click adventure game. Very funny. There was not combat the way you would think in a video game. There was insult sword fighting, where you had to come up with the right response to an insult in order to win the sword fight. So it was just a bunch of text dialogue options, and then in subsequent sequels they were rhyming because they were sort of sea shanty like. Because you were on a pirate on the high seas. It was so much fun, and I loved it. Those were definitely my favorite games. And then I got into, the Command and Conquers, your Half-Life, those kind of computer games growing up.
Well,
Age of Empires.
You
Great.
hosted the Video Game Awards for what, 3 years straight?
I did the New York Video Game Awards. 3 years? How many years did I do? I think 4?
4?
I can't. Yeah, I did 20. I think I started in 2017, 18, 19, and 20. Yeah, so 4 times. And it was always a really great time. I got to meet some incredible designers and people who worked at Rockstar Games, and the gentleman who made, was like the lead designer on God of War, which is a phenomenal game. So it was cool, and you appreciate, I mean, talking of art challenges, there's so much that goes into those games, and I've come to really appreciate them. And they've evolved so much as an art form in our lifetime. You think about those old point-and-click adventure games. Now they're, 8K resolution, wild, beautiful mats and books of artwork that are just about single games. I've had like a coffee table book of like the evolution of video game art from Pac-Man up through Mass Effect and games like that. But now it's just, you see the worlds that they render are so beautiful. Red Dead Redemption 2 is another great example of that. And funny story about that is my very good friend's daughter is, I think, 8 years old, and she would play Red Dead Redemption 2 on his PlayStation and just sort of ride around. She wouldn't do any of the heists, none of the Old West train robberies or any of that. She would just go around on the mesas and ride in the sunset, kind of customize her horse, and occasionally got into fishing, because you could go fishing in the game.
What?
Eventually you can hunt with like a bow and arrow, something like that. So she got kind of a, natural woodsman vibes in Red Dead.
That's cute.
However, part of the problem is in Red Dead, the controls are not mapped the best. So the button that you use to talk to someone is also the button you use to draw your gun. I don't know why it was designed that way. So at some point, she has like a very
It's
nice.
always a split decision. Do I want to talk or do I want to shoot?
Yeah, exactly. So she has this like lovely pelt or like a rare fish that she caught in the game, and so she gets on her horse and she rides to one of the trappers, and she goes to sell it, and she hits the button to talk, and just bang shoots the guy who's trapping and trying to sell the pelts. And so her dad immediately pauses the game before anything can react. And just the thing of like, okay, stay cool. I don't know what we're going to do. The law might be after us. Don't worry, I'll get you out of this. Like, it was like she actually murdered somebody, and he was going to have to cover it up for his 8-year-old daughter. And so he's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. We're going to get out of this. You're not in any trouble. Listen, nobody's... Yeah.
You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything.
You're good. You're a good child.
I didn't mean to shoot him. I'm so sorry, Daddy. Why did it have to happen? I didn't want to shoot the man. And so then
Just wanted to hurt him
Before
a
you go
little
on,
bit.
it's time to compromise our art.
Ooh.
We got to do the art compromise first,
Woo!
real quick. The
Quick
wheel of compromise is about to be spun. The wheel spins round and round. It's America's game.
Is it?
It
Australia's.
is. Art Smackdown is now considered America's game. Set it on fire is the compromise.
Ooh.
Set it
Wow.
on fire is your compromise. You're welcome, everybody.
God.
And Kara Sketches is right. Sometimes it's hard to remember the compromise, so I'm going to put it here in the right on the stream. Sorry, Devin. Finish your story.
No, so his daughter's freaking out. He's like, we're going to get you out of this. Don't worry. Because he'll ride away from the law or whatever it has to be. But very tense moments. So then he unpauses the game. And the trapper's just like, ow! What'd you do that for? And that was it. Just like a canned video game response from a character. Ah, don't do that again. And that was it.
And
So
did she shoot his heart? And he
no,
said
no. Maybe, but all's well that ends well, because then she just sold the pelt to him like it was nothing. So it all worked out. But tense for a few moments there. But yes, the video games, the art in video games, very realistic. Sometimes too much so.
Yeah.
You know?
I'll tell you what else is realistic. My, For a second, my my Streamlabs OBS was like glitching out.
I saw it.
Yeah.
It
okay, good.
scared me. I was worried.
Well,
Lost a couple eyebrow hairs over that one.
glad we're all there. Well, so the clock reset, but I know that we're right around. So I'm setting it again for 9 minutes on my clock, just to make sure that you guys have enough time. So don't pay attention to this clock. It is incorrect. I'll keep giving people time updates as we go along. Sorry for the inconvenience. It's Art Smackdown.
It's supposed to be inconvenient.
It's supposed to be inconvenient. So Devon, what type
Yes.
of get the tape? What kind of what pieces of your old childhood room would you carry over into the childhood room that you would now design as an adult?
I feel like I would want a computer loaded with all of those old computer games. Fun. I don't know if I would be experiencing them as new for the first time. Some of them have been remastered. I feel like if I had the freedom of childhood like that, I would just play all of those games as if they were new to me, or try to experience them again for the first time in like 20 years. Also, I feel like if magically I was a child overnight, so is my child. So I could be like, hey, let's be friends. Let me play these games with you. That would be real cool.
Also, go to bed.
Also,
Yeah.
get your ass to bed. Yeah. Do you think you'd be friends with yourself as a kid? Yeah. Did you think you'd be friends with yourself?
I think so. Well, I don't know. I was pretty introverted, I guess. I don't know. Maybe. We'd be into the same things, so I feel like
fair.
I would try to find common pop culture references.
But maybe you'd be too alike.
Yeah, that's quite possible.
You'd be the same person.
Yes.
Exactly.
Finishing each other's sentences and the like. What else would I load into the room? I feel like some of those old, maybe a couple Star Wars action figures, that'd be fun. A Boba Fett, you know? That'd be good.
Yeah.
Some of the things I'd leave behind, because I had a revolving posters. Because at one point, it was like a big surfing poster at one point. I had a poster of Yarmer Yager, the Pittsburgh Penguins hockey player. I think I had Yager and Lemieux at one point, like catty corner to each other. So
Accurate.
yeah, and he retired, like 2 years ago? He played for a very long time, but I don't think I would have that poster anymore. What would I put up instead?
Sid the Kid?
Maybe still a surfing poster. I could put up Sidney Crosby. That would be good. I had a lot of Pittsburgh Penguins stuff. It was the golden age of the Penguins. And then they had a lull, and then they had another golden age.
That's how it rolls.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd probably be into hockey. I feel like it would be a fun time to be into Penguins hockey. I'd probably be very into that, yeah. So replace Yager with Sidney Crosby. Yager and Lemieux get replaced by Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin. The new two-headed monster at first line center and second line center. Not even 1 and 2. It's like 1 and 1A, you know? Come on.
According to Frankenbabe, he retired at the end of last season, so saith Google.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. I think he played his last season with like the Calgary Flames or something like that.
Yeah, something random.
But who else did he play with?
The
Well,
Penguins,
he played with
the Rangers.
Capitals, Rangers, the Flyers for a season.
I was gonna say.
Boston.
I do remember.
It sounded like a Flyers name to me.
I
the
don't
Flyers.
know about all that. It was very weird when he was wearing a Flyer jersey.
That one for some reason of all of them felt a little strange.
Why do
like
you hate the
seeing-
Flyers?
I don't. I don't know. I think I
Sounds like you do.
You know, God, you're right. I do. No,
They had a line called the Legion of Doom. They're not meant to be liked. They're
That's
the Broad
true.
Street
They had
Bullies.
the
Although,
Broad Street Bullies.
The Legion of
yeah.
Doom
Broad
was
Street
my favorite
Bullies.
tag team in wrestling history.
More than the Rockers? The Rockers
Hawk
were
and
pretty
Animal,
exciting.
absolutely.
Really? More than
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty? The
Yeah.
greatest betrayal, maybe, in the history of sports entertainment.
Oh, absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
Some people think that's real.
wrestling
That's very strange.
also very accurate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get into some of these audience submissions for album art. This one is from Ryan Osmosis. Now that's what I call something. Explicit. Yeah. Some of these come with a caption. This one did not. It just speaks for itself. Now that's what I. Wasn't there all those albums like now that's what I call music?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
They're up to like volume 67 or something like that.
Do you remember the first album you ever bought?
Yes.
What was it?
I don't.
We're
remember.
dying here.
It was the first album I ever bought was I think
Like with your own money.
with my own money was I think it might have been actually I think it might have been Californication. I think it might have actually been Red Hot Chili
Really?
Peppers' Californication. Yeah.
In 99?
90 it might have been because
No.
I had two older brothers who were much older, and I just basically just mooched off of them. And one of them convinced me that there was no good music made after 1974. So it took me a while to get on board with modern music again.
Really?
I was very, I was very, what's the word? Impressionable. Devin, what
No,
was
you
yours?
weren't. No, I wasn't.
Say it.
What was mine? I feel like mine was probably Bad Hair Day by Weird Al Yankovic. I don't know if I spent my own money on that, but I feel like I was I specifically wanted it enough, and man, was that great. Because he would do Al TV on MTV or VH1.
Oh, yeah.
It was great. And it would be a whole day, and they'd play his music videos, and then he did the Coolio song, and he did Lump by Presidents of the United States of America and turned it into Gump. He did one off of the Batman Forever soundtrack and he turned it into a song about going to the dentist. Just good, clean fun, you know? Loved it.
2 minutes, artists. Jane, what was yours?
I remember, I think it was K-Tel Records. K-Tel. It might have been a Philly brand. I don't know. But it was K-Tel, and it was the greatest hits of whatever year it was. But Maggie May was on it.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
Billy Don't Be a Hero was on it. And The Night Chicago Died was on it. It was a solid album.
That is a solid album.
Yeah.
So this one looks pretty solid too, from Filson Schmilson. I don't want any trouble. Solo debut.
I think he added fire to it.
He certainly did.
Yeah, he compromised.
How
it.
nice.
I guess he knew what was coming down the pike. 1 minute, artists. 1 minute left. And we have one more to showcase. This one is from Frankenbabe.
Before the compromise, says Filson Schmilson. That's pretty
incredible.
fun. Yeah.
And that's psychic.
That's from Frankenbabe, and
All of it.
yeah, self-titled. There it is. Very Picasso.
Yes.
We'd call that figurative art in the art world, I think. Yeah, maybe not.
Oh, nice. Already got one in from Feral HW.
Always a good time.
We have 20 seconds, folks. 20 seconds left before the masterpiece is done. Ow.
I can't help but wonder if anybody's going to have used glazing in their art. That's a popular art term.
Glazing?
Yep.
Like as in like
Isn't-
ceramics? 3,
No,
2,
Multiple
1.
layers of transparent paint.
Then your time is up, artists. Send in your masterpieces to Fart Smackdown. That's Fart Smackdown with an F. Why? Because Art Smackdown was already taken.
Tale as old as time.
As old as time, or at least as old
Part
as
of the
show.
Renaissance. You have more afflatissance.
Fletcher's Smackdown.
All right. Well, as these start to flood in, I don't know. I had a thought, and now I don't know what it is.
Do you want me to tell you more about this glazing that I know about?
Please tell us more about this glazing.
Hit us.
Well,
Glaze
it's
us.
the early masters, such as Rembrandt, applied multiple layers of transparent paint to produce the deep, glowing hues and darks that came to typify their work. I wrote that myself. I did not plagiarize.
So you're telling me if I went to Wikipedia right now and looked up glazing, I would not see exactly what you just read to us.
Probably not, but if you went to artistnetwork.com, there's a good chance. Did I tell you guys this story? When I've taught on and off different topics, mostly improv theater, but on occasion technology, early technologies, or what they called multimedia stuff. And I was teaching this 7th grade. First year we lived here in Vermont, and I was teaching them how to do PowerPoint. I said, look, you pick the topic, because that's the only way you're going to want to do it. It's the only way you're going to enjoy it. You pick the topic. I want 10 slides. You tell me who you're doing in your slides, tell me who this is. What did they do? It can be an artist, it can be a singer, it can be anything you want. So this one boy, very, very quiet, gets up and does his presentation. Doesn't say a word, clicks, clicks, clicks. And I'm like, hey, buddy, remember we were going to kind of narrate so you follow along? Like, yeah. I'm like, could you read that first line for me? And he's like, sure. And he reads this totally like eloquent paragraph about Eminem. And it was something along the lines of, if you didn't think rap music could be transformative, on and on and on. And I'm like, huh. So after class, I was like, hey, I just want to be sure you wrote that, right? Because otherwise I would be plagiarizing. We talked about what that is. And he's like, oh, no, I wrote it. I'm like, okay, all right, cool. I'm like, you're sure? He's like, yeah, positive, I wrote it. Miss Baker, I wrote it. I was like, okay, cool. All right, great. So the next day, I went to his homeroom, and he was in there, and he sees me outside the door, and I'm like, he comes out, and I'm like, guy, we got a big problem. He's like, what? And I'm like, Rolling Stone stole your PowerPoint presentation and published it. He was like, what? And I'm like, look, it's right here. Rolling Stone magazine. They owe you money. He was like, Ms. Baker, I lied. I'm like, what?
Aww.
You lied to me? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, all right. 1 page on why stealing is bad. Thank you.
Wow.
If you've ever wondered about transformative power in music. Wow. I'm like, honey, you don't know what any of those words mean, including the.
The weirdest part is that a child stealing or child writing for Rolling Stone is also the plot of Almost Famous.
Yeah.
So he double plagiarized. He plagiarized both the article and the plot of the movie Almost Famous. So.
He was very, very clever.
I love her. Let's bring on some of these contestants. Walk us through some of their masterpieces. First up, let's bring on the challenger.
Ooh.
Schwartz and Merck. Schwartz and Merck.
All right.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Here is, walk us through it, man.
All right. So I designed what would be. I had to write it down just to make sure I remembered everything that I said. So I guess we'll start off with the blue torches. That was the compromise. Setting it on fire. I'm using the torches from Super Ghosts and Goblins or Ghouls and Ghosts, depending on which era you started playing that game in. And it was a big game for me as a kid because I love killing zombies, as you can see by Article 2 of my room, which is the Dawn of the Dead poster.
Nice.
Arguably my favorite zombie movie of all time, alongside the Return of the Living Dead, which is also technically a sequel written by the co-writer of Night of the Living Dead at the time, but I could go on about that, but it was a very interesting split of two worlds. Anyways, we'll move on to the next one, which is a Boba Fett poster, which also is a reference to something else. We did mention this earlier, that Half-Life was a great thing, and along that, I think I really like Portal, so I figured a poster saying "Still Alive" when I was a kid, because I was adamant about it. I was like, he's alive, he lived. Mm-hmm. And spoiler alert, I'm not going to say anything. But let's see, we'll go to the next part, which is the surround sound. Obviously, you're going to need surround sound if you have a projector attached to your bed, which the sheet is Han Solo frozen in carbonite.
Didn't even see that till now. I was too busy with the
Silent Squee said in the chat, "Isn't this what your room looks like now?"
Yeah, basically. And then obviously it would have to be on a lifter so you could fit all the gaming systems, the 3 at the time that existed, under the bed, and also the library, along with my Weird Al collection, because I was a huge fan of that, and I actually did the Running with Scissors, The Saga Begins, as when I was a kid in chorus. That was my song that I sang in chorus to get my A in chorus. And let's see, we got your projector. Well, you got the projector for gaming. It's on a stand. We got the pop up for player 2.
Oh, nice.
This is very important. And yeah, it's mostly video game and movie and music inspired. I was a big dork then, and I haven't really changed much. I mean, noted by the Mega Man headphones and all the other shit you see behind me. And I
Got
actually,
a lot of outlets in that room.
yeah, and I actually do own that Dawn of the Dead poster.
Oh my
So,
god!
There it is.
That's amazing.
so yeah, Squeak kind of called me out. It is kind of what my room looks like now. This is my office area, but it's pretty similar.
I only recently saw the Dawn of the Dead remake.
Oh, yeah?
The 2004, and you know what? It was fucking great.
It was. No, it's
Not as good as the
it's-
original, but it's obvious, but it's great.
Oh, as far as like, there's not many remakes that compare, let alone exceed the original. But that was one that I was like, I really like this, and the soundtrack was great.
Solid.
It was my introduction to Richard Cheese,
Oh yeah.
which was a very interesting. It was very interesting, but I really liked that. I really liked that. That was a good remake for sure.
Fucking awesome.
I've yet to be introduced to Richard Cheese.
Oh, like in actuality, or like you have yet to hear any of his music?
I don't. Who is he?
Oh my god! Oh, this is great. Yeah, Richard Cheese is a hilarious parody satire musician. He's awesome.
Oh, like Weird Al.
Similar,
Okay.
but like a consistent character all the way through. It's very interesting. I mean, it's hilarious.
And he was in the movie, or he was in a game, or he made music for a game.
He made music for the movie.
He takes old song, or not old songs, new songs, and he turns them into what's lounge music.
Yes.
Um,
Did you see
Album
Barb and
called
Star?
Lounge?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I remember.
Lounge
Mr. Cheese
Against
now.
the
Yeah,
Machine.
Did you
That's
see
right.
Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar?
Yes.
He's the one singing the song about boobies.
Oh my God. Okay. Love the movie.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
I'm putting up some
You like
Richard
those
Cheese
too?
to listen to after this.
But yeah, dude, this is this room is a nerd's dream. Devon, anything to say about this before we bring on the next contestant?
Yeah, I like that the outlets are kind of the only thing that you would add as an adult. You're like, I would need more
need
power
more. outlets.
That everything else is totally true to the childhood, but you're like, more power would be good, which is a very home improvement kind of answer to the whole thing. And very nice color on the Boba Fett as well, and the Dawn of the Dead. They pop really nicely, and I feel like in my conception of my childhood room, I don't necessarily remember the color of the walls or anything, but I do remember the posters, the color of the posters popping out. So I appreciate that as kind of how memory works. So yeah, really nice job. A cot for your bros, also very nice, or for whoever's coming over to hang out, to play. Yeah, Han Solo Carbonite sheet, very nice touch.
Thank you.
Hell
Very,
yeah, man.
very well done.
Awesome. Well, yeah. Stick around. Stick around. I don't know where we're gonna go. Stick around, and yeah, we'll bring it back on in a second.
Understood.
And all right, next we're bringing up Kara Sketches, audience champ from last week. Let me bring your piece up. All right.
Whoa.
All right.
Hey,
Wow.
Go for
I
it.
apologize for this already
What?
because I
Looks great.
I drew it. I was gonna do it in perspective, and then it's easier to think in section for me. So I just drew it in section. But oh
Was
well.
this done on the Revit system?
No. That would have taken a little bit longer because it would have been 3D
2 weeks.
moving around. God, I should have done that. That's a great idea. So the thought process on this is I've always wanted a built-in hammock in my room, and now that I'm an architect, I know how to like make a really nice one so it doesn't just look like a hammock in a room. So the horizontal dark line in the top right corner, that's a built-in net like around the beams, so you could climb up there and hang out in this net. when I was a kid, I really liked climbing trees, so it'd be really cool to have that option inside
Oh,
too.
yeah.
And growing up in the Pacific Northwest, there were lots of good climbing trees, so but not always when it was raining. Also, there's a lot of built-in storage for books and art supplies. And the compromise, I set my artwork on fire because I was always drawing up a storm. And general cozy atmosphere. And then I realized that my strategy, I forgot about my strategy while I was drawing. So I added a last minute chalet overhang. I actually looked up what the definition of a chalet is, and it's just a type of structure in the Alps. It like originated in the Alps.
It's basically what I said.
But pretty much.
Yeah,
Chalet.
but it's very much meant for like a snowy climate, so, which Portland is not. But I gave myself a nice little overhang.
Do they all have an overhang?
Yeah, I think that's the like general characteristic of an Alp chalet.
I'm in a garage.
I love that the fire is the pop of color. It's just it's a nice little like beautiful detail, and like the lights hanging above are so neat. And it's, so the bed is like above the workspace. Yeah, it's like a lofted bed.
That's like a reading nook almost. The bed is on the right side of the
Right side.
room.
Oh,
With a
there it
mosquito
is.
net.
Like,
over
Oh,
it.
mosquito net. Got it. Oh,
Yeah,
that's
'cause
awesome.
when I was a kid, I always wanted a canopy because it felt like a built-in fort, and I was
Yeah.
obsessed with forts as a kid.
That's
Agreed.
dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I like that you gave yourself 2 night tables too. I feel like that's a very mature choice for a child. That I didn't think about those or appreciate those as a little kid. And the whole thing has kind of a where the wild things are feel to me a little bit, maybe because of the lights. That it's this sort of magical world that adults can't necessarily access. It's really beautiful.
It really is.
And who doesn't love a
Yes.
hammock? Reading in a hammock?
Yeah.
It's
You could
best.
fall asleep in the bed, but the hammock, there's always like the tiniest bit of danger in the relaxation when you're laying in a hammock, so it keeps you awake to read the books.
Yeah, because it's
Love
a
that
net,
about a
so you
hammock.
can see down
Exactly.
into the flames. It's terrifying.
That's true. You're going to be right over the fire in the hammock. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, great work.
Okay, great stuff, Kara. Well, awesome. Well, that's killer. And yeah, we're gonna bring on the best artists in the world, and then we'll bring it back on with Devin makes his decision.
Oh, such a tough decision. It's gonna be my
so-
Do
God.
not envy you, Devin.
I do not.
Very
It's a
stressed
nightmare.
out by it.
Lazy
What if I don't
You're going to lose a
choose?
lot of eyebrows over this.
You can knock me out. Mine's a hot mess.
Oh man, that art was
Um,
awesome. All right.
Yeah.
Let's see.
So I
Alright.
drew
Yeah,
what,
good.
yeah, like as an adult, what I would like if I, was a kid. I love it. Like shiny's my favorite color, so I did like one wall glitter and then a sort of I love like a tropical kind of wallpaper with some. We have lots of parrots around here. But I do hate all those live, laugh, love things, so I just wrote live, laugh, go fuck yourself. Kind of, yeah. Like as much as I love all that pretty stuff, I fucking hate all that like just faux feel good like. So that's it. And then I did put my dog there as, because I was saying before he he like helps me sleep and stuff. Like my husband won't let him in the bed, but sometimes I sneak him in and just. And then when the compromise was to light it on fire, I think cats are assholes. So I had a cat come in and light it on fire.
Not your cat.
I don't have a cat. Yeah, no.
So it's a
I think
cat
I
that
do think
broke
they're
in
cute.
and set fire. I
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
cute, but they're just, and they kill all the wildlife. So don't like
They're
them.
more than likely pyromaniacs.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for
I mean,
sure. They're
except
not
for-
givers.
Except for this little guy who is.
Oh yeah, I
who's
know.
that?
I'm.
Who's too fucking cozy to
That's
ever
the thing.
let
It's
him
yeah, it's about the cozy. Like I love how cozy they are, but they're just killers, and they are takers. They're not givers.
in. Oh yeah, they're all psychopaths.
Yeah, yeah. We used to have them. So yeah, and then I put glitter. I don't know. It just like I said, the colors and everything. It really ended up a hot mess, but
Is that a pink bird on the wall?
yeah, that's like a galah. We have galahs
What?
they're
Oh,
like
galah.
galah. They're like parrots, and they pair up. They always have like a partner. So if you see one on its own, you're like, oh, what happened?
Oh no.
Yeah, but they're usually like in big packs. You'll just be driving along down the road, and they're all over the lawn. Oh shit. But yeah, so it's like parrots flying amongst like greenery and with some gold in the background, and yeah, I think I would have liked that as a child, even the live, laugh, go fuck yourself.
And like,
Because yeah, I think my mum used to say that I did not tolerate fools. So even as like a 6-year-old, I'd come home and be like, so,
well, the glittery, like the wall looks like the texture of that wall would be super fun.
Yeah.
As a kid.
Yeah.
yeah, you'd want to like,
It'd all be on the ground after.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
I feel
in
like
the
that
bed.
and like the other wall would be like a scratch and sniff, like Willy Wonka type wall.
Oh yeah, I love scratch and sniff. That's the best. Except my brother had a scratch and sniff pizza t-shirt, and that was disgusting.
Oh my god. Yeah, that sounds disgusting.
A
It
T-shirt.
was awful. Yeah, so it kind of scratched and smelled like pepperoni. Yeah,
Oh.
I had oranges. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
that's way better.
I'm not expecting to be back in the hot seat next week.
Oh man, I wouldn't say that quite yet. So all right, we're bringing all the artists back in. Devin, this is your opportunity to ask him any
Terrible.
questions, give any sort of like praise, thoughts, whatever you have.
Well, for Lazy Swan, when I was a little kid, I grew up in Los Angeles, and my parents would take us to Las Vegas just as kind of a getaway, and we would stay at this hotel called the Tropicana, which had
I've stayed
flamingos,
there.
right? And the
Yeah.
walls remind me a little bit of it, kind of the decor
Yes.
there, and a pink bird. So it that brought me back to that part of my childhood as well. I really appreciated that.
Yeah.
And then also glittery. Vegas is known for
Yeah.
glitter all over the place. So
Yeah.
and I appreciated the cat being an arsonist. Quite
Yeah.
quite wonderful. What inspired the pattern on the wall behind the bed?
Well, I actually did a whole mural on my friend's little girl's wall during
wow.
COVID when it first started for about a month. So I just did all, but there was like cheetahs and other stuff in there. And and I was kind of like, I kind of wish I'd done it at my house. So, and I've got wallpaper in a couple of my rooms, and they're like, one's got gold background and it's a lot, and the other one's like black and it's a lot. And I know most people would go, but I really love like a lot.
Yeah. What do
This
you
is
think?
Not my room.
What would child you do in that room? Like, what are kind of some of the activities how would you live your life as a child in there? Put out the fire, obviously.
Without the
First,
fire.
then after
First,
that,
you got to
yeah.
tend to the bed
Yeah.
fire.
I think drawing, and because I was not an outdoor type at all, so I'd be doing drawing. Then I would be playing with my Barbie in how do I put it, in a innocent but sexual way. I used to like to get my brother's like his action. I don't know. He had these boy toys, and I used to put his feet down, put them in the Barbie boots so they were the same height. And he used to ride up on his Tonka, like what do you call those? We call them a ute, but you call it a tray. Anyway, he'd come up on the Tonka, and then he'd climb up, and he'd do that. And then the bed, I would cry myself to sleep because that's what I did all the time.
Aw.
I mean, it looks like a nice bed for that, though.
Yeah.
Comfortable. You know.
Yeah, it's good.
Supportive.
Like
Yes.
supportive, a nice soft pillow. I like a good bed, so.
Were any
It's
of your
really
brothers'
tragic.
boy toys firefighters? Because that would have been,
It would have been
convenient.
perfect.
yeah.
No, the one he had was like, he had like Spider-Man and all those. I left Spider-Man next to the heater once, and his head bubbled up, so I got in a lot of trouble. But No, he just had this action guy that had like a scuba set and like a hunting set and
Sounds
yeah.
like The Bachelor.
It was.
Those
And I don't know.
outfits.
And somebody gave me like Barbie lingerie, so she'd have that on, and literally he'd go woo woo, and then
This is getting
he'd
better.
climb up the side of the house. Yeah. So there was like sex, crying, and drawing going on in there, and I was probably 6.
So that's everyone's childhood, right?
Yeah.
When I was 6,
Yeah.
I would climb trees high enough to be above people, and I would just watch them go by. So I was a little
There you
weird,
go.
weirdo.
Yeah, I think we're all
Kids are
like
weird.
got our own.
Yeah,
Kids are weird.
we're all our own brand of weird. We're all weirdos.
Yeah, it's
I used to
whatever your
pretend somebody
medicine.
loved me.
So,
Pass the time.
so Devin, the poll. So I put an audience
Ooh.
a poll in the chat, and the poll is coming in overwhelmingly in one direction. I don't think I've ever
Am I allowed to
seen-
check the poll or no?
Oh.
I probably shouldn't before.
He's going to tell you.
I'm gonna tell you.
Tell me.
So right now, Schwartz and Merck has 100% of the votes.
Really?
But
Wow.
as we all know from watching the show, it's entirely subjective. You as the judge, Frank and Babe, it's possible the poll is broken. This would not be the first time the poll is glitched out. But as of right now, all I know is that the poll is saying of the 11 votes in that Schwartz and Merck has received all of them. But Dev, this is entirely your gut decision. You created the challenge. You choose the winner.
Wow. Well, I want to start by saying all 3 are beautiful, and I really enjoyed looking at them, and they really spoke to different parts of my childhood, and it was cool. I feel like I got to learn a lot about all 3 of you as artists and as people, and I really appreciate that, and to see what you valued. I really liked how the 3 of you incorporated the fire. That's not something you expected. Very different than Beyonce.
Yeah.
So quite something to have to deal with. But I don't know why it's more a gut instinct thing than anything else. But I think I have to give it to Kara Sketches. It's
Kara Sketches.
Yay.
something about the blue, and I don't know. There's just a
It's beautiful.
kind of, yeah, it's just drawing me in for some reason. But I kind of want to be in all 3 of those rooms. That's
Right?
the thing. But yeah, the Kara Sketches. I feel like there's this artist named Oliver Jeffers who does these kids books, and it reminds me of that a little bit. He does he did some story times over Instagram or whatever during
beautiful
lockdown.
books.
But yeah, they're really cool, and yeah, it's something about the lights and reading in there, and the hammock, and yeah, it just looked like it
It's
looks
so cozy in
So,
there. It's so cozy.
very cozy.
It's most cozy.
It's a
in there.
chalet.
It is it's a chalet.
Yes.
Well, Lazy Swan, Schwartz and Merck. I mean, your pieces were incredible. As usual, Schwartz and Merck, you always crush it. Lazy Swan, it's been such a
Thanks.
just such a ray of pure sunshine the past 2 weeks having you on the show.
Thanks.
So, I mean, your art is incredible. I hope you continue to submit as an audience member.
Absolutely.
And fight your way back onto the stream, which I'm sure will be very, very soon.
I can see it happening.
In the meantime, it's time for us to showcase the audience submissions. So, artists, if you guys stick around, we're gonna get your impressions of the audience artwork as well. So first up, we have Feral HW. So Feral HW was the first one to come in. This is sort of a combination, I think, of both masterpiece and self-expression. It's called the subject is Asterpiece. The first album I ever bought with my own money was Avril Lavigne's first album. She rules. I missed most of the stream tonight, so I drew this quickly on my phone. The only thing I cared about when I was young was animals, so that's a photo of a dog in the wall above the bed. I hate to see it go, but if you love something, set it on fire. Also, the compromise was submitted via our Discord by Feral HW a few weeks ago, so give credit where credit is due. Also, I want to invite all of you in the chat to the Art Smackdown Discord. Join up. We've got lots of art chat going on, and you get some sort of you'll start to get some premium information about the game coming up if you are in the Discord. So
Premium.
just some premium content. All right, so yeah, that's Feral HW's incendiary piece. Next up is Filson Schmilson. There we go. Some of these files are huge. All right, so description that comes along with this one. I still have my childhood room, thankfully, as an artifact of my past. Italian households, am I right? But the big thing would be a desk. When they moved my brother in with me, they took my desk and tossed it to the curb. My desk was sacred to me before I understood what sacred was. I'd keep it minimal, since all my stuff is inside my quantum infinity closet.
Awfully handy.
I love the idea of an infinity closet. Oh, that's such a good idea.
Right?
Yeah.
Bunk for storage, the lofted area. For doo-wopping?
Is that a fire?
I think it's a fire for doo-wopping.
Oh,
Good.
I didn't know you do-wopped around a fire.
I guess that's what you do. But yeah, that's pretty solid.
Good old desk. It's very funny that there's an infinity closet and a bunk for extra storage. You
Right.
have infinity
right,
storage,
Kelsey.
and you're like, I might
That's
need
not
a
enough.
little bit more.
Yeah.
Oh.
Filson Schmilson. Always wanting more. This one is from Frankenbabe. Subject of the email is, I won't burn the books. All of my books and more. A place to hide, maybe two. All on fire, none of it real. That's gorgeous. Yeah, and again,
Wow.
the fire is the only pop of color, which I think is really, really aesthetically pleasing. Wilson just goes, Franken Babe, this is unnerving in a great way.
It has a cool New Yorker cartoon quality to it, too.
It does a little bit. Yeah, totally.
Like there'd be a
So this,
quip at the bottom of it. Yeah.
so this one's from Bad Example, who has been leaning heavy into the VR game.
The VR world.
Oh. What?
So this is the description. It may be less of a bedroom and more of a two-story garage, but we come in at the main floor, while I'll have plenty of space for some tinkering. Shown is a workbench with a few tools, a 3D printer, and a CNC machine. Also in that general area will be my gaming PC. Moving into the other half of the room will be seating for friends to witness a giant projector screen, which would display gaming consoles and can mirror a screen from the PC for watching media. There will be an OSHA-approved climbing system to access the loft, which will have musical instruments as well as my bed, which, as you can see, is
On fire.
on fire. En fuego.
El fuego. Wow.
I feel like this is the room that Jane is in now.
that is a Vermont chalet.
That is,
Yeah.
it's very similar.
So, yeah.
Chalet vibes.
All right.
That's awesome.
I want to watch it through one more
Wow.
time because I missed a bunch of it reading.
Flames.
I believe he is skiing through his house.
Oh, yes. Oh, that's right.
Chalet.
Doing the motion.
Chalet.
Wow.
I love how many people have utilized lofted beds and lofted like sleeping areas in this challenge.
Wayward Weasel said that they like everyone has a loft bed and that their parents act like they're insane for having one.
Not insane.
I have a
quite
loft bed
insane.
right over there. Also, my partner makes me sleep out here.
Once again, bad example. Cracking my brain and my idea of what's possible wide open.
Jumped over the side.
And last but not least, Ryan Osmosis.
Is that the Olympics? Oh, no.
So this one, my preteen years, my mom took my obsession with ancient Egypt and made it the theme for my room. It's one of my favorite childhood memories, how my poor southern family fostered a love I had for something pretty nerdy. So this is what that room could have been with the infinite resources. A pyramid bed, a Tutankhamun vanity, scarab beetle tiling on the floor, and I refused to light this on fire, so fire torch lights adorned the unks.
That's nice. Who was this?
Ryan Osmosis. This
Well
is
done.
solid, yeah. Yeah. As a kid, I also had
We
an
could
obsession
get your
with
rug
Egypt,
with that scarab
which
on it.
every Passover as a Jew would get crushed by the story of Passover.
I feel like you should steal those from the British Museum and then, whenever you're gone, bequeath them back to the people of Egypt. And then that makes it an even better setup for an adult, is you can finally get Egyptian art back to the Egyptians and out of the hands of the tyrannical British museums.
Finally.
Those goddamn imperialists.
That's
I
it.
pray every night.
So that's it.
Just to the god Ra.
Yeah.
Those are the 5 audience submissions. First impressions. Devin, what are your? Any further thoughts based on further than what we've already said?
I don't know how I'm gonna pick these. They're all so great. They're. How do you rank something like this? This feels bizarre and arbitrary.
1 through 5 is basically.
I guess.
Luckily, we all know that since it's generally the top 5 that get chosen after Monday, and people have to wait until Thursday to find out which the winner is. They're all in the top 5.
That's
You
very
made it.
exciting.
You made it. You submitted. You made it. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna rank them 1 through 5. I'm gonna rank them 1 through 1 quadruple A. That's gonna be the rankings.
Yeah.
They're very good.
That's what's nice is that yeah. All you have to do is choose the winner, but you can do that off camera, so no one can.
That's great.
No one will see. We'll be able to see your face when you do it.
Yeah,
They'll know
good.
your face, what your face looks like, so it's kind of arbitrary.
What are you imagining the face might be when he chooses?
Like this.
Nobody wants to see that.
Artists. Kara sketches. Which rise to the top for you?
Well, I have a top 3, but I haven't ranked them.
Oh, you don't have to. You just give the top 3 in
I
any
like-
order.
Frank and Babe, I really like the line work as always. It's just so clean and pretty. It definitely looks like a Revit model perspective throwback. And bad example for the CNC machine alone, because I wouldn't have thought of that because I wouldn't be able to afford one, but that would be so cool to have in your room. That's just a nerdy little thing of mine. And then Ryan Osmosis for the tiled floor, because I can imagine how really pretty that would be and detailed. Love to see that in real life.
Absolutely. Schwartz and Merck, how about you? And also, are we rating you tonight, or are you doing post-art?
Yeah. I'll be doing some art after this, just taking suggestions and what have you. I'll probably playing music or some junk.
Yeah, awesome. Well,
Cool.
which 3 are your tops?
Which 3? Well, let's see here. I gotta give it to the line again. The line work. I'm gonna have to agree with Kara on the line work on Frankenbabes. I really like the. It just looks so clean, and I like the idea of having a room full of books, but not the fire touching the books. And Ryan Osmosis's. I think just slightly tipping the scale on the fact that it's just completely like Egyptian themed. It's a little bit into the backstory of me, which is not a lot. But I used to, when I would go to Las Vegas when I was a kid, we would stay at the Luxor, and I know it's a really like a goofily themed. It's themed and stuff like that, but I really appreciated the architecture and the design of things. So that was something that I always look forward to. Like they had I don't know. I was a kid. I was weird, and I liked that kind of stuff too. And I was a big fan of this weird cartoon show about mummies that were like superheroes. But anyways, that's besides the point.
What was that show?
It was called Mummies Alive.
Nice.
They all had their own themed animal, and it was like Power Rangers, but it was a cartoon, and they were superheroes. Again, I was a dorky kid. I watched all sorts of that shit.
Sounds awesome.
And their martial arts was Ijitsu. I don't know. It was like badly punned and made, but I still watched it. But anyways, I gotta give props to Bad for his adding a projector, which is what I did. Mine was just on the ground pointing upwards. That was an amazing idea, and yeah, no, I think that would be also my top 3.
Awesome. Awesome. And there was a video game I played growing up on Sega Genesis called Decap Attack, which was you were a mummy running through the underworld, and kind of like in like Mario, where like sometimes you'd you'd find a mushroom and you'd grow big, and or like a flower, you'd be able to throw fireballs. So if you come across a skull, because you're a mummy running without a head, and you just put the skull on, and then you could throw the head to like destroy bad guys as you try to get through each level.
Deeply disturbing.
Deeply disturbing, but
Deeply
super fun. Lazy Swan. What are your top 3?
I've got exactly the same top 3. So, Frankenbabe, I agree that it does have that beautiful New Yorker kind of look to it, and the way it's written. I've got terrible handwriting, so beautiful handwriting, and just the gorgeous idea of it. Because, and even just right now, we're going out, it still feels very peoply. So, I liked that. Bad Example, I think that's your best one that you've done yet. I think you're getting better and better, which is awesome to see.
Absolutely.
And yeah, and Ryan Osmosis, I thought it was very sweet, and a sweet ode to your parents' idea of because the idea of doing a themed room for your kid, I did it with my kids. Yeah,
what was the theme?
It. One of them was like all about animals, but more sort of animals and dinosaurs and exploring and finding. So there was like,
that's awesome.
Lots of like little things like that with a bit of skateboarding in it. And then the other one was very into kind of like what you would call creepy kind of thing. So he had a lot of just like cool art posters that had sort of slightly sinister connotations. He had like all old apothecary jars and what are they called, magic lantern things up there, and so he had a very like black and green kind of theme. And the other one still has a lot of his stuff because he loves animals. So he just went for a walk. He's just gone for a walk in the storm. So he's that kind of person.
An explorer.
We had a theme for my 2 sons' room when they were younger, and they shared a room before they each got their own. It was 2 beds in green. Green on the walls, 2 beds, and get in bed.
Yeah. We did it for like their 10th birthday. It was like you turn 10, new room.
That's nice.
A bit older. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, awesome. Well, did you give all 3? You did.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, this brings our show to an end. We will announce the audience winner on Casual Thursdays, which is back this Thursday. Definitely join back in on Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Something I want to announce in the meantime is that we have decided to set up a red bubble for Art Smackdown art, because we realized, including tonight's art, we have over 600 pieces of individual unique art that has been created in the past year and a couple of months that Art Smackdown has been a thing. So we're like, why not utilize that and have the art live on? So we want to give 75% of whichever piece of art gets sold to the artist that created it, and then 25 will stake to Art Smackdown. But I want to present it to the community in case anyone has any objections or concerns or anything. So
It's a great idea.
So if you have any thoughts or concerns about it, email fartsmackdown at gmail.com. That's fartsmackdown with an F. I'll hold off for about a week and a half before I start putting stuff up. But if anyone does not want their stuff up there, let us know. Otherwise, we'll reach out to you if we think we want to put it up.
Mark, do you need the art in a particular file format to put on shirts?
It's a good question. I don't know enough about Redbubble yet, I'll let y'all know if they're a piece of art that we think would work, and if we need it in a specific format.
So save your art.
So save your art. We also, I've also saved everything that anyone has ever submitted. We still have, I can send it to you guys, and you could recreate it or figure it out. But yeah, so
cool. Every T-shirt should say Art Smackdown on the back. The art on the front, Art Smackdown on the back. That's mine. You owe me $1.
Business in the front, art in the back.
Party in the back.
Well,
I would love a T-shirt that just said "Live, laugh, go fuck yourself."
Right? I was gonna say the thing. Yes.
I want that so bad.
Yeah. That's at least one. Just
Draw that up.
Just a warning. I'll be
Yeah.
approaching about that.
I would wear that a lot.
Well, in the meantime, Schwartz and Merc is about to go live. Yeah, or are you already live, Schwartz and Merc?
No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump out right now. It'll take me about 3 seconds.
Sweet.
So I will catch you all later, and I will see you on.
Bye.
Awesome.
Great work.
Bye.
Bye.
Good to meet y'all.
Doodle.
Yeah, good to see you.
That's too sweet.
He's the best. All right, so we're gonna have just a quick second until Schwartz and Merc is ready for us to raid, and then we will raid Schwartz and Merc, where he'll be doing art by suggestion, which is how, Devin, your Boba Fett piece of art was originally created.
That's so fun.
What was it exactly?
So it was Boba Fett inside the, I always forget the name of the creature that Boba Fett fell into in the
Sarlacc pit.
Sarlacc pit.
Oh,
Yes.
the worst.
Yeah. So it's basically it's Boba Fett inside the just like blasting himself out.
Gotta do.
It's pretty dope.
It's really beautiful.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yeah.
Before, what flavor is Cool Ranch? I've always seen it on, like, even Toy Story. They say Cool Ranch. What is it?
It's a very
Hey.
good question.
It's a
Do you know
Doritos
ranch salad dressing?
Yeah.
Okay.
There we go.
Then add menthol.
Oh, okay.
Like-
So it's gonna be the.
Wait, what? Really?
Before we raid Schwartz and Merc, just a little bit more cat content.
Oh,
Some
thank
furry
God.
cat content. All right, we're raiding Schwartz and Merc now. Everybody, have a wonderful couple days. We'll see you on Thursday for Casual Thursday. Doodles.
Toodles.
Bye.
Bye.